one of my supervisors, he said, you always take yourself so serious. Smile a
Oh,
little bit. You don't have to. Everything does not have to be a problem to solve. Some things you can just let it go.
nice.
So, like, I'm not good at relaxing. You telling me to?
You're better. You're healing. That's the best part.
So then, and I mean, I've always had laughter in my life, but I also laughter before then and for a while was a coping mechanism
Yeah.
instead of crying.
Yeah.
Then I started laughing, like the belly laugh. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I am truly happy or I find something really, really funny, and I am not trying to make myself enjoy something. I'm truly enjoying something.
Nice.
Um, and I say that because a lot of times, if you go back to suicide, people you see all the time on LinkedIn or on social media, someone will say, but she was at a party last night and she was enjoying herself and now she's
Yeah.
gone. But really, was she enjoying herself? Was she
Yeah.
laughing from here or was she laughing from here?
Was she
So
laughing from expectation?
exactly. So that's a whole other conversation.
Isn't
But
it?
when you laugh because you genuinely feel it, it's not forced. It is just you enjoy the company, you're enjoying the company, you're relaxed.
Yeah.
That's how you real that's part of relaxing,
It is. And
you
just
know.
taking the time to smell the roses and watch the sunrise and watch the sunset. So how do you tend to do that in your
You
life
know,
to relax? What relaxes you?
reading relaxes me
You're a rock star reader.
and doing absolutely nothing.
Ah, regenerates
Which is
you.
so different because there was a time in my life where if I wasn't doing something,
Yeah.
I didn't feel productive or I felt something was wrong if I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
anything. So now I some days it's just a pajama day.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Same here. Something comfy. So,
Pajamas and fluffy socks.
right. Do you
And
literally watch the sun rise and set? Have you actually gone out and done that? I like to do that, like if I'm out
I
camping.
will say I've watched more sunrises and sunsets in the last 5 years than I
Okay.
have before.
And you're healing.
It
I love it.
was, and it came by accident, I would say.
Okay.
I was on a flight. I believe I was going to the Middle East, but the layover was in Boston. And we were about to touch down, and I had the window seat, and the lady next to me tapped me, and she said, you need to wake up and watch this. Naturally, I
Nice.
was annoyed. I'm like, okay, when I'm sleeping, don't touch me.
I know, right?
But I opened the window and it was the most beautiful sunset.
Cool.
And I took a photo of it. And I'm like, why don't I do this more often?
Right?
How many times am I going to work? The sun's already up. I'm already in my house when the sun's going down. So I
Mm,
made it a point to try to catch as many sunrises as I can. I
cool.
even did a staycation last year at Myrtle Beach. And
Oh, yeah.
every morning I woke up before the sunrise and Winston and I went on the beach and watched the sunrise.
Uh,
And then in the evening, we went back on the beach. But actually, I didn't go back on the beach in the evening. I sat on my balcony because my hotel room, I made sure I got a room that faced the beach.
yeah.
So I sat on my balcony and watched the sunset.
Nice.
And all I could think of is this is what gratitude is.
Ooh, I like that, right?
You
True.
know, this is
Yeah.
I mean, how many more sunrises and sunsets do I have in my lifetime?
Yeah.
And how many of those will I miss? How many of those have I
Ooh,
missed because I was too
yeah.
busy doing other things? So
Yeah.
I said, this is part of life. Like,
Yeah. What a great way to slow down. And then,
literally and metaphorically.
right, for sure. And then walk in the rain. That's always such a blast, dancing in the puddles. And I love a light summer rain. I love going camping and just sitting in the tent and watching the rain. It's As long as I'm not cold, I'm good.
I always love watching the rain. I will say that. I mean, growing up in Guyana, a silly thing that, I mean, I used to say it's silly, but now I recognize, I'm like, if I have to do that again, I will do it. We, as kids, there's sometimes we would put on shower caps
Fun.
and your bathing suit, because you know there's not a lot of not many people have pools, but we put on a shower cap and bathing suit and be on the street just running up and down. Sometimes if it's not too heavy or not too cold, I will go out in the rain when I take Winston out, and instead of having an umbrella, I'll just go get wet.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all about taking the time to enjoy the little things. I know we use the word gratitude practice. Like everybody's about gratitude and self-care, but really this is what gratitude is, you know, enjoying the little things and enjoying the things that we take for granted that you don't realize, especially with sunrises and sunsets. Like I didn't even realize the beauty that I was missing.
Yeah.
Until
Right.
that lady woke me up, and I said thank you afterwards, and she said you're welcome. Because it's not just the fact of the sun going down or coming up, it's the myriad of colors and the transformation in the sky that happens throughout the process.
Yeah, that
And it's
shows you it's
amazing.
possible.
Yes, and it's so amazing to watch it happen. Like,
yeah, and it's different every time as well. When I was flying from Stockholm to the US, it was actually from New Jersey to Asheville. There was really a lot of bad storms. I was kind of flying between probably the middle of two, but it was like castles, black castles rising up from the clouds, and it was just, oh wow. Yeah, it was super interesting. And then in one of the castles was lightning in that cloud, and it would just kind of sneak out on the edges of it. You couldn't see the center of the lightning, but it just kind of jut out of it. It was just wild. It was magical. And so the whole idea in healing is slowing down and taking time, and that's where the fear comes in, to slow down.
Not just the fears, a whole lot of other stuff comes.
Then you are gonna feel emotions and all kinds of things that you've been avoiding. So yeah, walk in the rain.
Also made me watching sunrises and sunsets also take me back to my time in Alaska.
Oh.
And seeing the aurora.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
The aurora is the most magical,
unbelievable,
one of the most magical experiences if you ever get to see it.
Yeah, it sounds
because
cool.
It is. And the other thing I did not know is that there's a whisper that goes with it. And I did not experience that until we were actually on a field problem in the military.
Really?
And I was on night guard. And and the person who was my buddy, I said, do you hear that? Like, what is that noise? I said, who's whispering? It sounds like, I said, I can't even describe it. There's no words, but you can tell there's something like this. What is? And he said, look up. That's all he said. And I was like, oh.
You hear the movement?
And that night, I recognized you hear it as it moves. And I was like, wow.
That is an extra wow. I love it. Thank you so much. What a great share.
That's an experience that's something I want to experience again in my lifetime.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Purposely. Yeah. And the Northern Lights, I didn't get to see those in Norway, but that would have been cool too. All right. Well, thank you so much, Iana. It's so great to get to know you better.
Same here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.